Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and I'm back with 6x6 Fix with Crafty Meggie. So today we're focusing on using our 6x6 paper pads, and today I actually have an 8.5 by 11 layout to share with you. And if you guys have been keeping up with my channel, you'll know that I've been working with a kit for my series Craft or Stash Away, one project at a time, and for How to Kill a Kit with Style. So I'll be doing another Disney themed page today. It's not super Disney themed, it's just a pool photo from the Disney cruise we went on, so nothing too elaborate. But I did want to show you guys how I ended up finishing off the 6x6 paper pad that I had put into this kit. It is from the Echo Park Summer Fun collection, which is also what these paper scraps of the larger variety are from. So I first started to cut this polka dot pink paper into a nice strip to go on the right side of my page, and then I did not cut it at 11 inches, I cut it at 8 inches, which obviously did not work. So I had to tape it back together and then retrim it because I needed it to be 11 inches, and I just wasn't thinking straight. So I have that on the right hand side, and again, there are a ton of scraps in this 6x6 paper pad left. I only have one actual 6x6 sheet left in there, but as you guys know, again, if you've been keeping up with my channel, I've been focusing on using up a lot of products, and this month has been a great month for empties, so stay tuned till the end of the month and when I do my favorites to see all of the empties I had this month with the kit and from outside the kit, because it was plentiful. So here I took out the last 6x6 piece, which is this really beautiful tropical leaves, or on the other side is this bird pattern with a bunch of flowers, which I opt to go for. And I have all of my scraps here on the right hand side. Now I will say I do trim off a couple of pieces which don't end up making it on here, and I just throw them away because they are quite small, but I do keep a couple of them and utilize them. So this is another great idea if you do have some of those small scraps and you can't bear to throw, little scraps away. And by throwaway, I do recycle. I think that's a big important piece to paper crafting. If you're going to, use paper products, you need to be able to dispose of them properly so they can get reused in the future. Here I go in with the little scraps to start. So I have that yellow, which had a punch piece out of it, so it was hollow in the middle, so I could only use a very small sliver of it. Then I go in with that green leaf pattern, and then I put the diagonal stripe on the bottom. And I do have that wood grain there, and since that's such a great neutral, I'm actually going to leave that as sort of a shelf for the entire thing to sit on once I'm done gluing all of the layers together. And you'll also notice that I'm offsetting these left and right. I think it's important if you're doing a style like this. And again, I kind of got inspiration from a Chamel sketch that I saw, and for the life of me, I could not find it to put it in this video, but I did get some inspiration from some sketches by Chamel where she took a bunch of smaller scraps to create a layered look, and that is what I'm doing here today. So for smaller scraps like this pineapple one, I decided I wanted a longer layer, so I just trim it in half and then put one half above and one half below these sections. And you'll notice I did have another pink polka dot there, and it's a smaller one because it's from the 6x6 set, and I didn't want it to be really close at all to the right-sided polka dot strip I've already put on there, so I decided to put that on the far left side of my photo. And then for these 6-inch scraps, I ended up using the full-sized and just offsetting them a bit because now my layers kind of do reach that full potential of that 6-inch line. And as you can tell from the back, this is definitely a hodgepodge of different patterns, but I think it really works well because I do have some of those flat colors in there, like that gray blue and that yellow, and the pink also kind of reads like a flat color. So here I'm going to start putting all the layers together, but at this point there are no 6x6 scraps left. I have a couple offcuts which are to the right side of the frame, so you can't really see them, but I will bring those back in later so you guys can see how you can use them if you do have some leftovers for your layout. And next I'm looking through some of the other pieces I have left. So in my kit I included a lot of different products. So I have this piece here which ends up being my title, and this is a pocket page card from the Citrus Bliss collection from Pink Paisley, which says relaxing in the shade, something really nice for a pool photo. And I decided since there are so many layers, I didn't ink them, I didn't distress them, I should put the photo and their paper layers on some foam just to give it a bit more dimension and to help it offset again from that busy pattern that I put in the background. I'm not a huge pattern person, but when it comes to 6x6 paper pads, I find that the patterns do go together very, very well. So it's easier to pull off something like this than if you were doing random scraps. So again, if you have a collection kit that has a lot of scraps left, or if you have more 6x6s like I do that you're trying to potentially use up, this is probably a great way to do that to get the most out of it and really just highlight all of those patterns on one page. So once the foam is in place, I start thinking about what I want to do with my title. I think it should stack at the top there. It's the only place it'll fit, and since it's clear, I don't want too much underneath it. So here I'm thinking I want some washi tape on this layout. As you guys know, I love washi tape. That is something I use on almost every layout, if not every layout. And so I pull out this Pebbles diagonal stripe, and I made sure it matched the same direction of the diagonal stripe pattern paper I used, because that is something I tend to look for when I'm designing. So I made sure I did that and then put it into place. And then I'm looking for a second washi tape that could go on the right hand side, because I think it could use some more color. I think it could use something, but I'm just going to layer this on to see what it looks like. Again, I think that the diagonal stripe washi tape that I picked out has a ton of the colors from this collection in it, and that's why it tended to work really well despite it being another busy pattern. But you could have also done just a flat color, or just, you know, a thinner washi tape if it's too overwhelming and too big of a pattern to use a thicker washi tape, or you don't have room. That's why I really like thin washi tapes, because they don't take up a ton of room but add that little bit of extra color or a little bit of extra texture or shape to really make a difference. So I decided to pull in my trusty dusty yellow scalloped washi tape from Me and My Big Ideas. And it's funny because this isn't an exact yellow to the bright yellow that's on the pineapple papers or in the background there, but it does work really well because it's still a brighter yellow than like a mustard yellow. And I know that I want to keep the title here and it needs to tuck under everything, but at this point I already glued down the background 6x6. So I'll have to end up trimming it a little bit, and I almost trim it a little bit too far, I think. So I'm going to put this in place and then trim down the title card so it fits properly. And I do cut off a little bit too much, which it's definitely better to, you know, cut or measure twice, cut once. So definitely take that into account when you're doing something that's irreplaceable. But don't be afraid to use these irreplaceable items on your pages, because they really can make a special page. So here are some of the offcuts that I was talking about from earlier. I have this one, which is a diagonal stripe, and I'm planning on recycling the rest of it after I cut off another strip to use on this pattern. I have the floral, which is really beautiful. I didn't actually use it in the layers under my photo, but I think it's just such a pretty pattern that I wanted to use it here. And I just really wanted to add something above the title here, because it needed, one, something to keep it in place, and I couldn't put adhesive too many other places, so I put it in the bottom right where the layers kind of hide the other section of it. Then I grabbed these and put them on top, so it's as if they were like tape holding up a sign or something like that. So I end up layering those together like so. And I really like the look of that, so I add a staple into the one of them, but I'll come back with more staples later because I thought the one looked a little bit out of place. Then I pull in these paper house stickers. There's some beautiful puffy stickers here, and I go for a lot of the tropical ones to add some dimension and texture to the layout, and again, another pop of color. So I pull out the flamingo, which these are kind of generally very hard for me to use on typical pages. I pull out the drink, and I pull out the seashell and the sunglasses, and even this one I tried to fit on there, which didn't end up working, but was still cute. But stay tuned for some more layouts that might use these in the coming future. Sometimes it's really nice to just have like one embellishment that you can turn to really finish off a page, and that's what happened with these puffy stickers. And actually did something similar on another 6x6 fix layout that you guys have seen. And if you guys have not caught up on the 6x6 fix series, you can check out the playlist link down below. And I'll also have Crafty Maggie's channel linked down below so you can watch all of her videos on the subject of 6x6 fix and beyond, because she uploads some really, really great scrapbooking videos that you guys don't want to miss. So I'm gluing these down with my fine line bottle with my Scotch Quick Dry inside, and it's just, these puffy stickers do not stick down for the life of them, and I don't know why, but they just do not stick to paper, which I think is really funny. I did try to use some of these wood veneer. I just didn't like the way they ended up looking because they were a little bit too, they were too big for the layout, if that makes sense. Like, even though this is just an 8.5 by 11, it just was a little bit too big. I ended up grabbing an October afternoon label, and just to give a little place for journaling, this actually has a cream base just like the pattern papers do, so it worked out really well because it's got that dark teal that matches. and it just ended up being really well. So you saw there I showed you guys my finished 6x6 fixed paper pad. Here I'm adding a little flip-flop sticker, which is from the 12x12 sticker sheet from the same collection. And overall, I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. I'm adding a couple more little details from the collection sticker sheet, which I think are some of the harder to use items, again, like the flip-flops, the cherry sticker, you know, just some random bits and pieces. And I also add, or think about adding, a little llama. I didn't add the llama, guys. I know some of you guys have been wondering how I'm going to use it, and I'm kind of running out of days here, but I promise I have and will show you guys when I use it, but that will be coming up later, probably the next month. So to finish off this page, I grabbed my freckled fawn enamel dots in this light pink color and finish off this whole row. I've definitely been quite heavy with my enamel dot usage lately because these were in my kit, but I'm really happy to have another row finished because it's just one of those things that's really exciting to have completed. So here I add the last few, but I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. Let me know if you guys have done this with your 6x6 scraps or your 6x6 paper pads. But here I'm going to pretend to show you a close-up, but we're not done. I end up wanting to change here at the top. There's only one staple, so I grab my tiny attacher again, add a second staple, add a staple down here, decide against that, and then add another one up here with the title piece. And overall, this is quite a busy layout, but I liked how it turned out. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this one, and don't forget to check out the playlist and Crafty Meggie link down below so you guys don't miss her video for this collaboration. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys again very soon with another project. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!